Welcome to On Track. I'm Ayisha Jaffer. It's National Mentoring Month, and in Louisville, Adelante Hispanic Achievers has supported Latinx youth and families for more than 20 years, working with one of the fastest growing student populations in Jefferson County. The organization provides mentoring and academic support programs free of charge, working closely with students and their families. I spoke with Adelante Hispanic Achievers Executive Director Juliana Rodriguez about the organization's mission and how mentoring is shaping outcomes for students in our community. What is Adelante Hispanic Achievers?
Adelante is a local nonprofit that has been serving Hispanic and Latino students since 2005. So we've been definitely around for now over 20 years. The main focus and mission is to support the students on figuring out what they want to do after high school. We start on middle school all through graduation. And through all of our educational programs, we give support, academic support, but also family engagement support, a network of all forms of resources and services through partnerships that help develop this journey for them. And hopefully they will feel supported and they can make, the decisions that they will become successful when they go into the workforce or higher education, trade school, so that's our focuses of all the programs.
And Adelante, that means forward, yeah?
Exactly, yes. So always looking ahead. Mm-hmm.
And so, how did this organization get started here in Louisville?
The chair of the board of JCPS, Stephen Imhoff, he started seeing a growth of Hispanic students in the JCPS schools and was noticing that there was really not that much support for them. So he gathered professionals like Latino, Hispanic professionals and just started putting this Saturday program. I think it started just one Saturday a month and with a very small group of high schoolers. And to now be, year-long programming, we meet every Saturday. We do programming, especially, online programming through the week. We've seen graduation rates up to like 25 seniors graduating. So it's definitely has grown, but it came from just the necessity of having a program that was fully supporting this population.
So clearly it grew fast because of the need, it sounds like.
Yeah. Especially in the last 5 years, we've seen big growth and targeted services are really important as new challenges also come. The immigrant community has a lot of barriers. Not only Adelante, but this network of support is really, really crucial.
Well, in saying that then, it is crucial and you're supporting all these different students to graduate. How does your organization define success?
We have 100% graduation rate for students graduating on time from high school. Some people ask me that sounds great, but what's the comparison, right? And so when we look at the last data, we've seen that in this population, Hispanic Latinx students in JCPS, I believe it's like 81% that graduate on time. So it does show that 100% it's very successful, especially being consistent through the years. I define success as seeing our alumni coming back to give back to the program. We have a lot of volunteers, our alumni, but also our program managers and alumni of Adelante. And we have had program coordinators, interns. So they always come back because they want to give back to the organization. So that one is more like on the personal side, right? We have a graduation rate to go straight to higher education, colleges and universities up to 97%.
Wow.
When the national data for this population, it's like 21%. So that's also a huge number. We have very consistent attendance every Saturday. I think we have been able to maintain it up to like 87% throughout the semester. So our students are feeling engaged. They feel like they belong. We survey them pretty consistently to make sure that the program stays successful and continues to be, what they want from it. The higher education, I think it's been a very strong suit of Adelante to advocate and being able to connect the students with the financial resources, with helping them navigate applications, FAFSA, essay writing, resume building, and all of that through the mentorship program that we have has shown that it's really successful.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that mentorship program because it is National Mentoring Month. I mean, what does mentoring look like in practice at your organization?
When we talk about mentors, we pair seniors. Once they start their senior year, we pair them with college access mentor. We recruit mentors that are either, as I said, Adelante alumni that are already have gone through the college process, or they are in college, or also just professionals, as long as they know how the process has been and they have the time and passion to support. That's what we're looking for. So we provide them with guidelines or like a handbook and resources. We try to be consistent too about finding new resources, finding new scholarships, new opportunities for the mentors to be able to guide the students on this process. We expect them to help them with like FAFSA applications, with the college application forms, or just by using the apps that are available, to come with them to the college visits that we do, and just be that support right there of focusing them and keeping them on track of what's needed. Of course, I think the college process starts way earlier than just the senior year. So we start with this college readiness program in 9th grade so students can start preparing. They are also invited to the college visits and to every workshop that we have. But the mentors are just the more one-on-one check-in weekly. They're so important in this process. And when you survey them at the end of their senior year, the thing that stays the most with them is it's the mentor support they have. And they just build relationships to be able to carry them, years after.
It's like an accountability partner in a way.
Yeah, especially, I mean, you don't have to be Hispanic or Latinx or immigrant to be able to mentor with us, but it is an important component because that familiarity of that journey, it's very important. We put a lot of emphasis on supporting the parents as well, so that the understanding of these mentors of what their students have gone through or their parents help them really just tailor that experience better for their mentees. We provide these educational programs as well in their language to parents because most of the families that we serve, they didn't study here in the United States. So those process looks so different. We think that it's key for the parents to have that same education, have that same understanding, so they can also better support their children.
You're saying that the parents are also getting mentoring as well, or where are they kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we want to prepare them more to be mentors too.
Sure.
In that way, but they are always invited to all the open workshops we have when it comes to college or career development. We have had parents that have come to the college visits as well, and we always want to make sure that we have either Spanish interpreting or that the materials that we provide are bilingual so parents can join the conversation and have better understanding of the process. So they can be part of that process too. We always want to make sure that they know what's going on and they know how they fit into this conversation.
Absolutely. I imagine they want to be part of that conversation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. But it's easy to step back when you feel like language-wise, I don't understand what's going on. Like a lot of those applications are just in English. I don't understand what it says there. So I'm just going to sit back and it's normal.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Louisville's Latino student population has grown rapidly over the last decade. How has that rapid growth changed the way you think about your work or role in the community?
I think it's very important to also educate ourselves how those changes, what are the challenges that come with those, not I guess the word is not change, but like shifts of population. My role in the community, or my role with Adelante, has always been to be really open for us to pivot through these new challenges, to make sure that our program continues to be relevant to what's going on and what we're seeing in the community. So by working with other organizations that support, with other agencies, like even like with the city, to be in one place to communicate what we're seeing in the community, it's just only going to help us figure out what it's needed and what can we provide. We always try to stay in the lane of education, and Adelante has always been at the forefront of Latino education in Louisville. So that's where, I always want to join conversations that are related to that. But of course, seeing the larger landscape of the immigrant community and its needs. But we definitely want to educate ourselves constantly on what's going on and what else can we do.
And so in Louisville right now, with talking to partners, with trying to gather that information, what local or policy level changes have you noticed are most affecting the students and families that you work with?
Well, there's a lot of fear right now, and I think that affects at a lot of levels. And it's a cloud of fear that it's going on because of a lot of policy changes, as well as the threat of more policy changes. One that has been difficult to navigate for us, again, on the educational side, has been the ones related to DEI, since have brought more challenges or like more barriers. It's closing more doors. When we were thriving in years where the conversation was like, we need to get this stronger, we need to have more inclusion, we need to diversify spaces. So those related to DEI has been definitely the hardest one to navigate, especially because still there's not that much information on how it looks or what can it affect or who is, affecting more on a institutional level. Mm-hmm. We're about to face another big challenge, which is cuts in budget of JCPS. So when you have a population, especially in the multilingual learner population, I think we're looking at like 1 out of 3 students in JCPS is multilingual. So it's pretty high population. And if these cuts do come through, there will be a lot of negative effects onto how much resources and services are going to them. So yeah, it's a complicated time.
Given those realities, are you ready for those changes, or do you have a plan?
I think it's very fluid. You have
Understandable.
Yeah, it's like every week comes with a new curveball. Is that how they call it? I don't know. It's something new. We need to be resourceful about how we're gonna address it. I'm very grateful. Our community is wonderful, and I mean the community as large. We have been working together, over 15 organizations that serve immigrant and refugee communities. We have been coming together, working together, supporting each other, learning from each other on how to address these challenges. We've been fortunate to have people at city, state, even federal level also joining some of the conversations and wanted to hear too about what's going on. So I guess that support is really important right now to keep us moving forward. Adelante.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of just understanding that right now things are not set in stone, that we have to be flexible.
That's where community comes in, right? Because you're collaborating and partnering and having conversations to find solutions and move forward kind of stronger together, it sounds like.
Yeah. And advocating is really important too. Being part of the conversations, even as sometimes it's very exhausting because there's not that many answers. But I've been definitely and having my team and a board and, volunteers and everybody just to join the conversations. Who's doing what? What can we learn from that? What can we adapt? What can we offer? And just try to work together as a community and try to bring more people into the conversations and try to educate everybody too of how these challenges are affecting and what are the consequences of that.
Yeah, because you're offering programs under your organization for free. That removes barriers for families.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now, how are you able to make that sustainable?
I mean, we definitely, as a nonprofit, we rely a lot on grants. We rely on donations. And we hope that, we can continue doing that. It's scary times because we don't know how in 6 months that it's going to look like. We know that some corporations have had to change their internal policies as well, and that affects to, their grant process, or if they even can continue doing these charitable givings. And I guess diversify funding is really important and community right now.
Just talking about those programs, the programs that you offer, why was it important to offer those programs free of charge?
Because they need to continue being accessible. For example, the college visits, transportation is always a challenge. So if we are able to provide transportation and lunch for these college visits, we know that we're going to have a higher number of students joining and getting exposed to maybe some colleges and universities or even other institutions or trade schools that they haven't visited before. We do educational field trips to museums or to other agencies, organizations. By doing this for free, we know more students will be able to join. They will be able to experience things that otherwise they might not know they exist.
Mm-hmm. Transportation, I always hear, it's always a barrier. And it's so incredible that you can provide that for those students.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they might not see it if they don't have access to it that way.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through some of those core programs that you provide? I feel like you have been throughout our conversation, but just for clarity.
Sure, yeah. Our main program, it's called Saber. Saber means to know, to learn in Spanish. This program has 5 pillars that are essential for it, for every workshop, field trip we do. And these are social-emotional development, career awareness, college readiness, mental health, and community service. So this program is more an experiential learning activities. They're mostly based on workshops that happen every Saturday where we bring different partners, different facilitators, and on that specific Saturday, we work on either one pillar or just a subject. So we pick these workshops based on a topic that carries through the semester. For example, creativity. So every Saturday, we want to expose them to a new either career option that is based on creativity or develops creativity. What is very amazing about this program is that our students, they can sit in a room with a college professor, or they can go into a place that normally will be not open to the public. Just kind of see like the backside of things, right? Learn firsthand from professionals that do this every day, or it can give them like a better scope of what that career means or what that journey means or how does it look like. So they get to do, hands-on activities based on these particular topics. Like we've done several with the School of Medicine of UFL. So some of their students come and then they have done like first aid activities, how to stop a bleeding, how to take a pulse and all this stuff. So you have like 50, 60, 70 students all learning in one place at the same time, these kind of skills.
It's cool to have that opportunity to see behind the curtain and see what is possible. Mm-hmm. So how many students, I think you mentioned this, but how many students and families are involved right now?
We have tried to keep our registration around 80 students even if the 80 students are not coming physically to the program, we still try to serve them by resource sharing, by connecting them with this network of support or with our online tutoring or mentorship. So that's kind of how we look at our registration. Saturdays is one thing, but then we still have, Adelante still has programming through the week.
Is there a particular student or family whose journey stays with you when you think about Adelante's impact?
A lot of them, honestly. If I could, without naming or, but
of
just
course.
there was this couple of years ago, 2 siblings that just arrived in the country, and they both more like on the junior, senior side, like, not going to say older students, of course, they're really young, but older for our student, especially for registration. So they did not speak one word in English. It was that was definitely a challenge, like having to go into school without the language, without the knowledge of the educational system and all of that. And I remember them telling me, like, we almost didn't come back because, we felt somehow alienated from what was going on. And at that time, our program was still mainly in English because we were not having as many newcomers or recent arrivals that didn't speak English. But because of them, it was like a wake-up call of we need to make this more bilingual. That's when we're seeing the shift, right? If I remember correctly, I assigned them like 2 volunteers to kind of be with them like through the workshops and just kind of start like helping them navigate and all of that. And then they just become the most engaged of all of them, their parents as well. And to this day, they're always just a phone call away of, do you want to come and represent Adelante? They're always there. Their English is fantastic. They're both thriving in college. Yeah, very, very proud of them. Their journey made us pivot to, made us realize like, okay, now we need to look at what's going on and how can we address it. So they're just such wonderful beings and they're amazing. They're so talented. And yeah, that's when you know that when you give support to youth, to people, they will do their best. People needs to be supported and feel like they belong.
Yeah. I love that they're like, hey, do you need any help? That's what you want. That's what you defined as success before.
Yes, exactly.
Personally.
Yeah, because they're happy to show the impact, to talk about it, they're proud of it.
Yeah.
And they're always, Juliana, whatever you need, just let us know. We'll be there. So.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
So for anyone who's listening who wants to support this work, how can they get involved?
Go to our website, adelanteky.org. There you will see opportunities to volunteer, one being the one we've been talking about, which is the college mentorship or career mentorship. We have online tutoring to support students throughout middle and high school. We have the Saturday programs to either come and support the staff. As I said, we have high volume of students, so it's a lot of pieces and a lot of coordination, as well as like if there are opportunities to partnership or, to do workshops or field trips and all of that. We always love to hear about that. You can reach out to contact@adelanteky.org if you have any ideas of partnerships that you can have with us, thoughts. So, yeah, please stay connected.
Well, Juliana, thank you so much for joining us today on Track.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
On Track is produced by Louisville Public Media. Our production team includes Michelle Tyreen Johnson, Laura Ellis, and me, Ayisha Jaffer, with support from Rebecca Feldhouse Adams and Alex Biscardi. Our music is by Kojin Toshiro. Find more at LouisvilleOnTrack.org. And remember, being kind is free. That's the start of community. Thanks for listening.